This video is going to give you all of the causes of World War I. So inside your Cornell notes, you need to make sure that for your topic slash objective to put causes of World War I. Your essential question, you can leave that blank. Make sure you put today's date, and you're filling out the keynotes slash questions on the left-hand side and filling out that summary at the bottom. Remember, no more than 5 sentences. So these are your notes for the causes of World War I. Don't forget to watch those videos on Edpuzzle too. They will really help you with understanding the causes. So there are 4 main causes of World War I, and luckily the main causes actually spell out main. It's an acronym. Your first cause is militarism. Remember, building up of strong militaries. We've already talked about this when we talked about imperialism. So these countries are building up extremely large armies where just to be safe and protect their country if they end up getting invaded by someone. So it's like if Miss Hargett has, 3 nukes and 20,000 machine guns, I just in case, need to get 8 nukes and about 50,000 machine guns, just in case she decides to attack me. I would be ready. So these countries are basically one-upping each other, trying to get the biggest military there is possible. You see militarism a lot with dictatorship countries. North Korea comes to mind, China comes to mind, where they parade all of these giant militaries around to look intimidating. Alliances. Alliances is going to be a major cause. Personally, I think it's going to be the number 1 cause, because these alliances are going to be so secret and so easily broken that by the time war actually breaks out physically, no one knows who they're alliance with, because no one remembers what deals they made with who. Think of it like Mean Girls, or in middle school when Susie and Sarah and Tiffany have been friends since first grade, and all of a sudden Brian comes this middle school and they all like Brian, and Tiffany and Susie really like Brian, but Sarah, she doesn't really care, she's fine, she likes Brad. So Susie and Tiffany are really having it out, these best friends since like first grade. They're having it out, they both like Brian, they can't see eye to eye, so they start to hate each other. But Sarah, who has been their friend as well, doesn't know what to do. So Susie and Tiffany, demand that Sarah pick a side. And Sarah doesn't want to do that. So she secretly tells Susie that she's not friends with Tiffany anymore. She's friends with Susie. She's loyal to Susie. But then she also tells Tiffany that she's loyal to Tiffany and not friends with Susie anymore. So Susie doesn't know that Sarah's still friends with Tiffany, and Tiffany doesn't know that Sarah's still friends with Susie. Until Tiffany finds out that Sarah is friends with Susie. And now that friendship between Sarah and Tiffany is broken up. So it's very easily broken, and they're very secret. That's a pretty lame example. Watch Mean Girls, you'll get it. Imperialism, we already know, when a stronger country takes over a weaker country's economy and government. And nationalism, citizens that are loyal to their country that they were before they were taken over by an imperial country. They do not want to live under someone else's rule. Think about it. If I practice imperialism and go inside of your house and to completely take over your life, I monitor what you eat. You can only eat kale and peanuts, nothing else. I make sure that you must be in bed, no cell phone, no nothing, no TV at 8:30 every night. You wake up at 5:30 to study before school. And I make all these rules and regulations. I make you sleep in the doghouse in the backyard. I basically take over your entire lives. You obviously don't want that. I hope not anyway. So you're going to have extreme loyalty to your parents. You don't want me as your ruler anymore. You want to live under your parents' rule. So you are going to exude extreme nationalism for your parents, not for me. So if I take over Miss Hargett's room and I enforce my no eating in class over her students, when she would bring them Chick-fil-A every morning, those students of Hargett's who are now mine are not going to want to live under my rule anymore. They're going to want Miss Hargett back. And so they're going to want that nationalism they're going to, start making Hargit or die t-shirts or something like that. So they're going to start to really promote Miss Hargit and not me. So nationalism is going to cause an assassination attempt because, well, not because, the spark of the war is going to be because of nationalism. The spark is going to be the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. He is going to be the heir to the Austrian-Hungarian throne. Austria-Hungary is going to control a country named or called Bosnia, and Bosnia used to be part of Serbia. And a Serbian nationalist, Juravo Princip, which I know I'm saying that wrong, watch the John Green video, he says it perfectly fine. He is going to be a Serbian nationalist, and he's going to be part of a group called the Black Hand, who is going to stage this assassination attempt, or not attempt, an actual assassination. So they want to live under Serbian rule, not Austria-Hungary. And so in their thought process, they're like, all right, fine. If we kill the Archduke, the guy who's going to take the throne of Austria-Hungary, we don't have to live as Austrians anymore. We can go back to Serbia. So they're going to kill the Archduke. Austria-Hungary is going to declare war on Serbia automatically right after that. But before the assassination attempt, there's some alliances. The first two alliances are going to be created are the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance. Triple Entente is going to be Great Britain, France, and Russia. Triple Alliance is going to be Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. United States is declaring very loudly that they are neutral. They don't want to be part of this. They're an ocean away. They don't want to be part of this whatsoever. Those alliances are going to change when Italy switches sides. Italy is going to jump ship and go from the Triple Alliance to the Allied powers. Since we're adding Italy into the Triple Entente, you can't call it Triple Entente anymore because there's 4 instead of 3. So they both change their names to the Allied powers and the Central powers. The Allied powers are going to include Great Britain, France, Russia, Italy, and the United States is going to join in 1917. The Central powers are going to be Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. Just a fun fact, by the end of the war, Russia is going to drop out due to the Bolshevik Revolution, and Austria-Hungary is going to be so weak they're going to drop out too, and Ottoman Empire is going to kind of disappear, and so Germany's going to be the only one left. Dun dun dun. You should hear ominous music in the background for World War II. So these are the alliances. Sorry guys, you just have to know who was part of who and who's going to switch. You just got to know. And I'm going to show you right now how these alliances are going to cause a war. So this is going to give you a breakdown of how alliances are going to cause this war to happen. When the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand happens, Austria-Hungary is going to declare a war on Serbia, and they're going to demand a lot of things from Serbia to right the wrong of the assassination. Serbia is a very small country. It's kind of weak. I don't know if you can see it over here. But Austria-Hungary is broken up. But Austria-Hungary used to be all this. And then you have Bulgaria down here. It's a very, very tiny country. And Serbia right next to it's right here. So, not very strong country, not very, big or strong. So Russia, who is very big and strong, comes to Serbia's aid and says, listen, if Austria-Hungary declares war on you, I have your back, don't worry. And so they begin to mobilize. Mobilization means they're going to get ready for war. As soon as Russia does that, Germany sees that as an act of war and is going to declare war on Russia. As soon as that happens, France, who is dropped down here, just because I couldn't really fit anywhere else, is going to declare war on Germany because they declare war on Russia. Sorry. So Germany's going to declare war on Russia, which is going to prompt France to declare war back on Germany. Belgium is going to get into this mix because Germany wants to use Belgium as a jumping point to invade France, because Belgium is in between. It's a very small country between Germany and France. It's right here, if you can see it. So Germany wants to invade France, but they don't want to do that until Belgium's taken care of, and so they're going to declare war on Belgium, who the poor guy is neutral and he really has nothing to do with this, but he's going to be used as a jumping point. Then, as soon as Germany invades France, Great Britain's going to get involved and declare war on Germany. You should see this is a little lopsided here. So a lot more countries strong countries over here on the Allied side than over here on the Central Powers. Austria-Hungary, like I said, is going to become very weak, and they're going to kind of fall by the wayside by the end of the war. And actually, Japan is going to be over here on the Allied side too at the end of this war. So poor Japan. Poor guys are going to get the shaft at the end of the war, and Germany's going to get the shaft too. But this is how alliances are basically going to cause a war. What could have been a 1 year tops war between Austria-Hungary and Serbia turns into a giant world war that's going to last for 4 years. Now moving on to blockades. As soon as the war is established and they're now fighting, Great Britain wants to be the smart one and use a military tactic that actually makes sense. If you want your enemy to become so weak that you can easily take them out with a gust of wind, you want to deprive them of all of their supplies. So Great Britain is going to place a blockade. They're going to put ships all around the entry points to Germany's ports. Germany is going to have a small port right here where the circle is, and that's basically going to be it. So all they have to do is place, the green X's are my ships, because you know I can't draw. So they're going to place them in all the openings where Germany can get supplies. Starve them out. I mean, it makes sense. So they first start out saying that just military weapons and supplies that will help the war cannot be given into Germany, or not be taken into Germany or traded with Germany. So the United States is now lacking, whoops, sorry. Stop. Now lacking a way to get into Germany, which is fine with us because we're still trading with Great Britain, so we're still getting money for it. But Germany, on the other hand, is going to be extremely upset about this. And because Great Britain is going to say, all right, fine, we're now moving on to food, which I will get to in the next video. No, I won't. Oh, I still have time. Okay, never mind. So they're going to extend this whole contraband thing into actually stopping food from getting into Germany, because they're saying that food is helping with the war because it's supplying soldiers with the food. It's going to cause a famine. And so when you back someone like Germany, who's already angry and at war with people, and now you're making them hungry, which is going to make them hangry, they're going to lash out. So Germany is going to respond to the British blockade with their own blockade called the German blockade. And they're actually going to do it extremely well, probably a little too well. Germany is going to place a blockade all around Great Britain, stopping the United States from getting there too, and actually sinking a lot of United States ships. Germany is going to throw the rule book of the rules of the ocean or the rules of the sea out the window. Typically, for the rules of the ocean/sea, is that you need to acknowledge the ship that you're going to shoot at and sink. You have to acknowledge them twice. They call it pings. You have to ping them. And so you say, hey, ship, I see you. You need to get out of our space before we sink you. You have to say it twice. And Germany's like, no, we're not going to do that. We're at war. So we're not warning you. We're just going to sink you. So if you come anywhere near Great Britain, you're going to get hit and you're going to get sunk. So all these ships that are the cargo ships and stuff like that that United States is giving to Great Britain and to Germany are being sunk all around these blockades. And Germany's going to use what is called Untersee boats. U-boats is what we call them. And they're very, very, very effective. If you look on page 624, you can see the concentration of how many ships are going to be sunk by Germany, and it's pretty devastating. The more famous ship that they're going to sink is called the Lusitania. It's a British passenger ship, because another rule of war is you cannot sink passenger ships, only ships that are carrying weapons, and 128 Americans die. And that's going to lead us into entering the war. Not only is Germany going to use unrestricted submarine warfare, where they're not warning ships that are going to be sunk, they're sinking our ships. And we keep on telling them to stop it, and they won't. And then the Zerman Telegram comes about, where they tell Mexico to declare war on the United States, to distract the United States if they declare war on Germany. Because Germany knows they're poking the bear and they're making us mad. And they knew it was eventually going to happen, the United States is going to declare war on Germany. So they want Mexico in there to distract us. And when Germany wins, they're going to give all the land back they lost in the Mexican-American War. And that's not going to be okay with the United States, and we're going to enter in 1917. Review these notes and move on to the next one.